Did you know that the United States government imprisoned nearly 100,000 innocent citizens during World War II? This day, February 19th, 1942, then President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066. That order set the stage for the forced relocation of around 120,000 Japanese Americans, about 2/3 of which were natural-born Americans. These poor people were given days, sometimes hours, to pack only what they could carry, or they were sent to temporary assembly areas, which were usually racetracks or fairgrounds. They were held there because the camps were being hastily constructed. The camps were finished, they were loaded onto trains, and transported to these remote camps in places like California, Arizona, Wyoming, Utah. And from 1942 until the end of the war in 1945, they lived behind barbed wire fences. These weren't like the extermination camps in Europe. They weren't exactly comfortable either. Thin wooden barracks, no insulation. So in some places you had blazing desert heat. Other places you had freezing winters. They all had communal bathrooms. So very little to no privacy at all. And they weren't like forced labor camps, but the internees were expected to work. So they farmed, they built schools, they staffed hospitals, and some even created newspapers of their own. So they built communities while being confined by their own government. When the war ended, the camps were closed, but many of these people returned home to find that their houses, their businesses, their farms had all been sold for pennies on the dollar. 3 years of their lives completely disrupted and financially erased. For those of you who stuck around this long, thank you so much, and here's your extra tidbit. It took 43 years, but in 1988, President Ronald Reagan signed the Civil Liberties Act. It officially apologized for the internment and provided reparations. And believe it or not, there were still about 82,000 surviving internees. And each one of them received a check for $20,000. That'd be like getting a check for about $55,000 today. It's definitely not enough to replace 3 years of their life gone, but it was a formal acknowledgement by our government that it never should have happened in the first place. I know this is a little bit heavier than my last few videos, but sometimes history can be heavy. If you learned something new and enjoyed this video, please hit that like, subscribe, and feel free to comment below your thoughts on it. And as always, have a wonderful day.